You're moving through your home, standing up from the couch, wrapping up a task, heading to another room, and your cat is already in your path. You didn't call it. It wasn't there a moment ago. That's not clumsiness. It's a request with a deadline. It arrived early, placed itself before you reached that spot. No meowing, no following, just a settled body, a low tail, and complete stillness. That kind of composure isn't accidental, and affection alone doesn't explain the precision of the timing. Path blocking is one of the few ways a cat initiates control over an interaction's pace. No escalation, no vocalization. The body does the work, and the behavior carries a specific social function that shifts depending on context or disappears entirely. Some cats stop doing this. That change carries its own meaning. By the end of this video, you'll read this behavior in real time and know exactly what it means when it quietly stops. Number 1, it wasn't an accident. You stand up, no sound, no signal, but before you reach the doorway, your cat is already there, settled, tail low, body forward, not reacting, waiting. That's the detail worth pausing on. It didn't follow you, it got there first. It tracked your movement and calculated the path before you completed it. Cats carry this from deep in their behavioral history. In the wild, reading and anticipating movement is survival. In a home they know well with a person they've lived alongside, that same tracking redirects. Your movement becomes something worth monitoring, worth responding to. Not every cat communicates this way. How much a cat relies on spatial signals over vocalization varies, shaped by early experience, individual temperament, and the specific relationship built over time. But when it does appear, the pattern is consistent. Your cat isn't drifting through the house unaware of you. It's paying attention, closely enough to act before you arrive. You're not being ignored, you're being tracked. Next time it happens, pause before stepping around. Notice whether your cat holds position, shifts its weight, or moves. That response tells you something about what it was looking for.
Number 2, what they're actually asking for. Notice what your cat isn't doing. No meowing, no trailing, no pawing. It appears in your path, settles, tail low, body composed, and waits. No urgency in it. Most owners read this as wanting attention, a vague signal that gets noted and stepped around. But the choice not to vocalize, not to follow, not to escalate isn't a lesser version of asking. It's a more deliberate one. The cat is using spatial positioning as its primary channel, relying on you to read it. Cats in close relationships shift away from vocalization when they feel understood. Increased meowing tracks with uncertainty or stress. A calm spatial request signals something different, a communication style that assumes mutual familiarity. That assumption builds between a specific cat and a specific person over time. It isn't given automatically. A brief pause, even just a glance down, registers more than stepping around it does. Number 3, the timing is the message. Pay attention to when the blocking happens, not just that it happens. It rarely appears mid-activity. It clusters at transitions, wrapping up at a screen, standing from a chair, moving between rooms. Your cat appears at the seam between one thing and the next, already calm, already positioned, as if it knew the moment was coming. That timing isn't coincidence, it's the message. Transitions are when your attention becomes briefly unanchored. You're between tasks, not yet focused on the next thing. That's the window a cat reads. Mid-activity, your attention has a direction. At a transition, it doesn't. That gap is exactly when a spatial request has the best chance of being noticed. Cats who live closely with people calibrate around their owner's patterns over time. What looks like anticipation is sustained, quiet observation, running in the background of every shared day. When that timing stops lining up, when your cat no longer appears at those transition points, that absence is worth noticing too. For one day, note when the blocking happens. The pattern will tell you something specific about what your cat has been quietly paying attention to. If this is changing how you see your cat, consider subscribing. Every video on this channel works at this level. Number 4, when the block becomes a boundary. You step around your cat. It doesn't follow, doesn't vocalize, But within seconds, it is moved again, repositioned, sitting at the next natural point of your path, calm, unhurried, just again. The second block is often softer than the first. The cat settles lower, holds position a little longer, makes slightly more direct eye contact before looking away. It isn't intensifying, it's clarifying. It repeated the request, it didn't escalate it. That distinction matters. Repetition without escalation isn't stubbornness, it's regulation. The cat maintains the signal without raising stakes, without physical contact, without sound. In behavioral terms, non-aggressive persistence is a low-conflict communication strategy. It reflects a cat that feels safe enough to keep asking, one that doesn't perceive you or the environment as a threat. A cat that escalates is uncertain. A cat that quietly repeats is confident the channel is still open. That confidence doesn't develop with just any person in just any environment. It's built through enough repeated interactions where asking was worth it. The calm repetition isn't frustration. It's a cat that still believes you'll notice. If the block repeats, check the basics: food, water, litter, physical comfort. The cat is staying in the conversation. It just hasn't raised its voice yet.
Number 5. What changes when they stop? But not every cat keeps asking. At some point, you may realize your cat has stopped doing it. Not abruptly, it fades. The path interruptions become less frequent, then occasional, then absent. Your cat still occupies the same rooms, still settles nearby, still follows at a distance, but it no longer positions itself in your way. It watches, it waits, it doesn't initiate. You probably didn't notice exactly when it changed. The easy interpretation is independence. The cat has matured, become more self-sufficient. Sometimes that's accurate, but behavioral research points to another possibility. Cats suppress communication behaviors when repeated signals receive inconsistent or absent responses. The suppression isn't sudden. It develops across weeks, quietly, without announcement. Less blocking isn't always more independence. The channel didn't close dramatically, it just went quiet. That's a meaningful distinction. The cat hasn't withdrawn entirely, it's stopped offering the initiation, stopped placing itself where you'd have to notice. If blocking has faded over time, reintroduce calm acknowledgement when your cat appears near your path. A word, a glance. That's enough to gradually reopen what went quiet. Number 6. When there's no ask at all. Then there's the version that carries no request at all. Your cat blocks you mid-hallway, at the top of the stairs, in the space between the couch and the door. Nothing prompted it, no empty bowl, no closed door, no disrupted routine. You simply stood up, and there they are. Body relaxed, weight evenly distributed. No eye contact held, no waiting for a response. Just presence, placed quietly in yours. No ask behind it, no deadline. This is the block most owners step around without thinking. Nothing obvious to respond to. It reads as inconvenient rather than communicative, so it gets dismissed. But a cat that positions itself in your path without urgency, without need, isn't requesting anything. It's doing something quieter. Your path has become part of its space, and by extension, so have you. It isn't stopping you, it's including you. In environments where cats feel consistently safe and relationally settled, this kind of non-instrumental presence develops naturally. No function, no agenda, just proximity chosen freely. This is where the loop closes, not in lost communication, but in communication that no longer needs to be initiated. You're already assumed. Don't step around these moments too quickly. A brief pause is enough, just enough to acknowledge what's being offered. The cat that once blocked you to ask for something and now blocks you for no reason at all, that shift isn't a loss of communication. It's the end of needing to ask. If you have a cat that does this, or one that used to, share this with someone who lives with them. And if you want to keep reading behavior most people miss, the next video is right here.